Man, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy. We back again in that video, man. We got TGG. Everything in the GTA 6 extended look explained. Shit's a 41-minute vid. Get your snacks and drinks.
Well,
Now.
the time is finally here. It's time for an entire trailer.
Whoa, I didn't even see this. We got a little lizard just running across the street.
Entire trailer or video breakdown of the GTA 6 extended look. Now, if you didn't know already, most of you probably already do. Last month, I was invited out to Rockstar North in Scotland, where I was shown the extended look early, as well as an additional 2.5 hours of gameplay alongside Rob Nelson, the co-head of development for the game. Now, this is going to vary from other breakdowns you might see today. I'm going to be going through every single thing in the trailer, but also adding a lot of context about features you may not have heard about before, because there are a lot of new features and gameplay systems shown in this video that aren't really elaborated on. So I will explain what all of those are, as well as giving you some of the creative design choices and reasons behind some of these features existing, with quotes directly from Rob Nelson himself. Like I said, this is going to be a big video. If you enjoy, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more stuff like this. Let's go. Now, the video opens with Jason and Lucia in a mission that seems to be given to us by Booby Ike. Now, we learn—
Damn, look at them jiggle figure.
Thank you for 30 years of one love, Raising Cane's.
Alright, I'm gonna rocking on the right stuff instead of the wrong stuff. About
At Ancestry, we
Rockstar
believe every
got that
question
shit
about the
moving.
past
about Booby last year. Booby is the owner of the Jack of Hearts strip club and seems to be, at least in the early to mid game of GTA 6, one of the main mission givers. Now, upon approaching the entrance to the building here, we see an in-game version of what we saw last year in trailer 2. This time, though, we find out that it's not actually a cutscene, necessarily, and in fact, this is essentially a Red Dead 2 improvement or feature that they're bringing across to GTA 6, and I spoke to Rob Nelson about this exact intro scene. Rob said that we started pushing this type of interconnectedness a lot in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's something I think can really help you feel connected to what's happening, which is sort of partial control. Trying to bring things that would traditionally have been in cutscenes more in-game for the player to participate in. Like when they're walking up the steps at the start of the video and they meet that first group of guys and they're standing there, you're in-game. You have camera control, maybe a bit of player control, but you stop and we stop you and then you walk through in-game. Now, in this mission, Jason and Lucia are searching for a character named Raymond, who we'll meet shortly, but on the way we find this character who, again, you might recognize from an earlier trailer, this time in trailer 1. Also, down the bottom right, you can see if you hold L2, you'll get the prompt to talk to this character and find out if this really is Raymond, which it isn't, but this is the exact same system that was in Red Dead 2, and of course, when you use this feature in free roam, for example, you will have the opportunity to greet and antagonize with any NPC in the open world, just like in Red Dead 2. When Jason and Lucia get in the elevator, again, you see this sort of seamlessness that Rockstar is going for here with GTA 6, where, again, this isn't a cutscene, this is just in-game, which, if you're anything like me, this was kind of bizarre to finally see this in GTA. Of course, it was in Red Dead 2, but to actually see it in GTA now took a bit of getting used to for me, but this is a welcome addition. Once they exit the elevator, Jason has the opportunity to either pet or scold this dog, which sort of introduces us to one of the new features in GTA 6, where we get this sort of devil with a halo icon pop up on the right side of the screen. So what is this? Is this an honor system? The answer is kinda yes, but no. It is kind of similar to Red Dead Redemption's honor, but this time it's called Criminal Profile. Now, when talking to Rob and the Rockstar team, one of the things they wanted to make very clear to everyone is that this system is not meant to try and get you to play like a good guy. And it's not even a morality system like Red Dead 2's honor is. This is a criminal profile. Now, this can be improved by, sure, doing things like petting dogs, but it can also be improved by being a good criminal and doing things that a professional criminal would do. Now, I asked Rob, will this impact the story? He said, it may, depending on how you play. There's no right or wrong way to play the game, just a bit more choice now. How do you want to play this game if your actions may have some impact on things? You can still cause as much chaos as you want if that's what you want to do. And I said, yeah, well, that completely changes what GTA is, doesn't it? And Rob actually said, I don't think it changes what GTA is, it changes what it can be for people who want to engage with it that way. You still have as much freedom as you had before, now you can just do more, and you have more choice, in terms of how you approach situations. Now, if we go back to this dog petting scene here as well real quick, you can see that Jason also has the option to study this dog. So again, just like in Red Dead 2, you can study and learn all of the different animals in the game if that's something you want to do, which is pretty neat. Next, we see Jason and Lucia actually meet Raymond and find out that we're walking into a drug operation here. We see another one of those seamless sort of gameplay to cutscene transitions and find out that one of Raymond's contacts, Ernesto, has actually set him up and let the cops know where he is. Which, of course, leads us to our first look at gunplay in GTA 6. Now, at the start of this shootout, you can see that the cover system is returning.
Came out guns blazing. He had his hands up and everything. He just shot him dead.
Our first look at gunplay here, you're going to notice a couple of things. First of all, auto-aim is gone. So the typical GTA gunplay where you hold L2 or LT and it just locks directly onto the enemies, that's gone now. There is still some...
No. No, I actually have to show some aim skill now. Oh no. I mean, I should be alright, but bro. Still, you had that on every time. Oh, sorry about that. Mom, give me a burger from Chili's.
Level of aim assist, like
yeah,
you
bro.
would expect.
That would literally, I would put that aim assist on every time. I should be fine, but if you see some trash aim, don't be mad at me.
In most third-person shooters, weapon bloom, all of that good stuff, but the typical GTA lock-on thing is gone.
Wow.
Also up the top left here, you can see two different bars. These bars here are health, obviously, and focus. Now, we'll get a better look at focus later on in the extended look here, and we'll go through it a bit more in-depth. But as for the health bar now, you'll notice that there is a bar itself and then an extension of that bar. Now, the reason for this is because Jason has taken some sort of consumable, most likely a sort of food, that is going to increase his health past the regular point. Now, you can increase your health, like I said, through consumables, but that's only a one-time thing. If Jason's health drops below that bar in the middle, it will only fill up back to that bar again. It won't go all the way back up to the top. So at that point, if you want that extra health back, you're going to have to take another consumable to boost it up. Now, your stats like health and focus can also be permanently increased above the regular point as well, and this is done through side activities, mainly stuff like gyms and working out. And we'll get a better look at working out later in the trailer.
Signs to put the vapes down.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and...
Shut up.
Now, as Jason moves through this hallway here, you can see he picks up a shotgun, obviously, but you'll notice that there's several different types of hit markers that he's getting, and it looks like there's going to be three different types. A white hit marker means that you just hit the enemy. That's pretty obvious, but you have two other types, yellow and red. Now, a yellow hit marker means that you've put your enemy into an incapacitated state. At this point, they will not get back up. They are essentially no longer a threat. So at that point, you are completely fine. The enemy is essentially dead. They're not a threat is what I'm trying to say. So you can leave them. Or, you know, if you want to finish the job, you can do that too. And then, of course, you've got your red hit marker, which indicates that you just got a kill. And as Jason comes out of cover here, it happens pretty quick, you gotta pay attention, you can see a shoulder switch, which of course is a feature returning from Red Dead 2, but wasn't in GTA 5, so good to see that. We then get a look at a Red Dead 2 or even Max Payne styled kill cam. If you've played either of those games, you know how this works. Now, GTA 6 is also going to have things like crash cams as well, if you get in a crash that essentially
crash cams? Oh,
and I did learn in my time at Rockstar that both of these can be toggled off if you don't want to have them. If you're not interested in these sort of cinematic shots, yeah, you can turn it off. So that's pretty good news for anyone who wants that. As we transition to this next cutscene here, where Jason and Lucia are trying to escape, we learned the name of this cop that we saw in trailer 2 last year. His name is Mendez. And from what Jason and Lucia say, it's quite clear that Mendez recognizes or knows who Jason and Lucia are. It's also quite clear that
both put the gun down and surrendered and still got popped in
the way they're kind of just making their way down this.
And people are saying that sounded like Ned Luke. When he said clean this fucking shit up.
Hey man, this ain't even loaded. Oh, too bad. Clean this shit out.
They're saying that could be Ned Luke. Who knows?
It's fucking Mendez.
Yo, you think he saw us?
No, he couldn't have.
It's at this point that Raymond gets Jason and Lucia out of the building here through this old lady's apartment. And yet again, we get another shot from trailer 2, this time from a different angle. And that essentially draws a close to Act 1 of the extended look. As the second act of the extended look begins, we get a look at an entirely new mechanic that we actually learned about in the leaks from 2022, but we are finally seeing for the very first time. And this is the fact that it is now kind of harder to steal cars. Now, as you can see here, Jason has two options to break into this vehicle.
The window.
He can either smash the window like you normally would do in previous GTAs, or he can use a Slim Jim, which is an item that's going to help him break into this car without setting off the car alarm and alerting people around it. Now, in order to do this, you actually will need a Slim Jim. That is an item that you need to have.
Slim Jim.
And a Slim Jim is specific for kind of older cars
I need
like this.
A Slim Jim,
in my
like
conversation with Rob Nelson about this feature
That's
of
the only Slim Jim I know.
How it's different. He let me know that there are different items that you need to break into higher levels of vehicles. He said you don't need anything to hotwire, but not all vehicles can be hotwired. Some vehicles need a key cloner to start. You can smash the window and get in, but you can't start it without a key cloner. So because this is an older car, even if you just smash the window, it'll set off the alarm, but you can still hotwire it. But if you're in the early stages of the game and you don't have a key cloner, the only way you're going to be able to steal a high-end car off the street, for example, like a Pegasi or a Grotti, is to steal it while it's actively being driven by someone and sort of ripping the driver out of the car. If it's a parked car, you probably just won't be able to steal it at the start of the game. Now, I also didn't mention that we see a tow truck here in the background driving away, which obviously we'll be able to steal and hijack if we want, so we will be able to tow cars. But I do wonder, and honestly, I hope that there will be tow truck missions in some way, shape, or form that we can do. Now, in the next shot here, as we see this
tow truck mission
lady running down the street, this gives us a look at one of Jason and Lucia's
GTA 5
safe houses that they're going to get at some point as they
speed limit 35. We are not listening to that.
1 or chapter 2.
We are going straight.
Judging by the photos on the fridge here,
65.
this doesn't seem like it's Jason and Lucia's apartment. This seems like it's either someone they know who's letting them crash there, or who knows, maybe they just broke in. We're going to have to wait and see exactly how Jason and Lucia actually get this apartment. Now, this next scene, anyone who has a girlfriend or a wife, this is a very relatable scene here. There is no right answer to this question, and I find it quite funny that Jason not only picks the wrong dress, but neither of those options were correct.
What did Kai say on the scene? She's so indecisive.
As the camera sort of seamlessly switches to game... Correct, because Lucia goes to get an entirely different dress. As the camera sort of seamlessly switches... options were correct, because Lucia goes to get an entirely different dress. As the camera sort of seamlessly switches to gameplay here, we can see that Jason has the option of telling Lucia to hurry up, and most of us should know that is never a button that we should press. Do not do it. This will not end well.
I might just do it for
Instead,
shits and
Jason
giggles.
makes the smarter decision and goes out to sit on the couch. But not before we get a quick look at the safe house itself and all of the interactivity involved inside this safe house. There are so many things you can do. A lot of people were sort of curious if Rockstar was really gonna go down this role-playing route or life sim route. And from what we can see here, and from what I saw, I did see some additional gameplay in this safe house as well in my time at Rockstar. Yeah, they're going down that route quite a bit. So you can turn the lights on and off, you can open the fridge here, and this is where we get a look at sort of an entirely new mechanic for GTA. And these are those one-time consumables that I was sort of mentioning before when I was speaking about the health bar. So Jason does grab a beer here, which, you know, doesn't have any stat boosts by the looks of it. But if he were to grab that Blitzberry smoothie, for example, that would temporarily increase his stamina and his focus. Now, when I was watching Rob Nelson play inside of this safe house here, he happened to pick up and eat an apple, and that apple was one of the items that increased his health. And again, if you're wondering how in-depth they're going with a lot of these RP mechanics, in the time I saw Rob Nelson playing this, he finished that apple, and then you can actually throw the apple into the bin. Like that is a thing you can do. In fact, I can't show it here, but I was told by Rob and the team that if someone out on the street is walking their dog and their dog takes a dump, you can wait for the person to pick up the dog shit with, you know, with a doggy bag, and then you can hit that person, making them drop the doggy bag full of dog crap, and then you can actually pick that up and throw it at people. Yeah, that's the level that they're going.
Thank you for telling me this. I'm finna throw dog shit on people now.
These systems.
I'm finna throw
truly
straight dog shit
something
on
we
people
haven't
now.
seen before. Here we get a quick look at one of the in-game advertisements on the TV, and we get a look at a bunch of wildlife.
I'm sure
I
I've seen
believe
this ad
this
in
is
real
meant to
life.
be set in Mount Calaga on the northern part of the map, and it seems to be a parody of an Arby's commercial. You
Fake
can see
Arby's?
The comparison here between the burgers, as usual.
But I don't... I'll eat that hoe.
With Rockstar trailers, there are a lot of real-life
I fuck
Easter
with
eggs and
Arby's.
references here.
I don't care.
But here we just get
None
a
of
look
y'all
at a
motherfuckers
bunch
say.
of
I
animals. We got
fuck with
squirrel-
Arby's.
Thanks to SAS
Not my
Data,
favorite,
the,
but I fuck with it.
Liverpool FC fans
And another
feel
ad. This is what I don't fuck with.
closer
Just take
to
his
the
chicken?
team than ever.
Boy, oh hell no, I wish someone just take a piece of my food without asking.
Girls here. We got these birds, we got bunnies or hares. These look to be hogs. We got a bison in the background.
Bison?
We got a deer on the left here. Just an absolutely insane amount of animals. Looks like it's going to be just as much, if not more, than Red Dead 2. And again, remember, you can study all of these animals if you want to. So sort of
Study them.
spotting every animal in the game is going to be a fun side activity. In the next shot, we get an outside look at this safe house
Nice
yet
little
again.
apartment.
And the outfit that Lucia chose. I think it's a winner. Good job at picking this one out, Jason. You did great, man. Now, as for where this safe house or apartment is, it is in Vice City, sort of in the Bayside area. So, yeah, this sort of leads me
Damn.
to believe that this is probably like a Chapter 1, Chapter 2 type of safe house. Now that Lucia's ready to go, Jason and Lucia are about to head over to see Brian and his wife, Laurie, who is eventually going to introduce them to Raul Batista. All of these people are characters we learned about in Trailer 2 last year. Now, as we get a look at the driving here, you're going to notice on the mini-map that is actually a 3D minimap. There are a lot of customization options for the HUD. You would have noticed that the minimap disappears sometimes when you're on foot. I've been told that you can actually toggle it on all the time if you want to in the menu. There's even options to fully disable it and use a compass, sort of like Red Dead 1, I guess, or the old school GTAs. So you can sort of customize this the way you want. There's tons of options in there. And for any content creators, if you're watching or reacting to this, there is even a copyright-free music option. I did ask Rockstar about that, and they showed me where it is in the menu. So it does exist, and it works.
I
Now, as Jason and
appreciate
Lucia
it.
are driving here, you can see a few changes to the driving overall. One of the main things you might notice is that the roads are actually narrower, or the lanes are narrower, as well as the traffic density being turned up. And relating to this, Rob said traffic density is crazy compared to previous games. Also, the roads are narrower than GTA 5, so you've got to maybe try and drive a little better, because you're just squeezing through sometimes. I think it's a lot of fun and feels rewarding to get better at driving. If you have a keen eye, you also may have noticed that Jason put on his indicator before he turned left, so it looks like you'll be able to use your indicators now. And then we get a random NPC encounter here where this
That
guy
man about to
falls
fall
off the
in the
bridge.
water.
So there's going to be a bunch of these in the game. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of them. I'm not too sure on the exact number, but a lot. We then get a mashup of a bunch of other gameplay sequences and random events like this one here on Shore Drive. Here we see Jason eating a bag of chips,
Eating
which
chips.
increases his health, like I mentioned earlier. We get a look at Lucia
She a whooping
fighting,
ass?
and yeah, this is clearly a massive step up from GTA
Oh, yeah,
5.
she-
And honestly,
bro,
I'd
she
say a
know how
step
to
up
fight
from Red
for
Dead
real.
2. What I
Look at
found
that dog
interesting
right there.
about this clip, though, is
Hey.
that it looks
Boom.
like Lucia has a smaller health bar than Jason. Now, if that's the case, I wonder where she's going to make up for the less health, right? Maybe increase mobility. We
Weave.
do know that she is a fighter. We learned that back in Trailer 2, so maybe she's more skilled at hand-to-hand combat than Jason. Who knows? We'll have to wait and
3v1
see.
too,
But she
bro.
can definitely fight, as you can see in this clip. In the next shot here, we see
shit.
Jason and Lucia grabbing assault rifles out of the back of a car trunk here. As you probably know, if you didn't, vehicles are going to be where you store your weapons this time
Ooh.
around. In Red Dead 2, you stored them on your horse. In GTA 6, they're going to be stored in personal vehicles. In this shot here of Jason sliding over a car,
Sliding?
this looks obviously like a cool clip, but you might not have realized we actually learn of a new feature here as well, and that's the pistol fire rate. Because the pistols in GTA 5 were sort of fire rate locked. You couldn't fire them as fast as you could pull the trigger. But
Oh,
this
I'm
time
finna
around, it looks like you can
boy.
genuinely tap fire weapons as fast as you can pull the trigger. Here we see the infamous Hammer Lady from Trailer 1, and she says the exact same thing. Look who's back. Here we see Lucia one-handedly
Oh, yeah, one-handed,
firing
bro.
a
She finna be bad,
pump-action
bro. She
shotgun.
finna be
Now
badass, bro.
this is sick, and you'll actually
Like,
notice
what
that
the-
she's
she
holding
finna be
two duffel bags.
badass
Now this
in this
is
game.
an option. You can
She could
actually carry
potentially be
two.
one of
And
the
what I've been told
best
by
female
Rockstar is
characters
that you can store
in a video
these
game, bro.
duffel bags, basically
One of the more
loot
badass
in your vehicle, and different
girls in a
vehicles,
video
depending
game,
on the
bro.
size, can store a different amount of duffel bags. For example, a bike can store 0. You can't put duffel bags in or on the bike, only the ones that you're carrying with you. Whereas cars, for example, can maybe hold a couple of duffel bags, and then a van or a truck can hold more. Here we get another
Got
confirmed
WWE,
side activity. It looks
Attitude
like wrestling
Adjustment.
in someone's backyard. I don't know where this is.
Hey,
but
hey,
Jason's getting
damn.
absolutely body slammed right now. I'm assuming that
let
wrestling
me hit the
will
RKO
increase
on a
your strength
motherfucker,
or
bro.
stamina or health, just like other side activities. Here we see a group sex van
Finna go in
actually
the
being
corner and
robbed
spear
by
a nigga like
it just
Roman
looks like
Reigns.
other NPCs. In the past, like in GTA 5, we were the only ones that would rob these vans around the map. But it seems like driving around Vice City, you might actually witness robberies in progress
shit.
being completed by other NPCs in the world. In the next scene, we get a look at the new relationship mechanic
this shit
and one of
looks
the ways
so
to improve
real.
the
Oh my
chemistry between
gosh,
Jason
it's
and
like I'm
Lucia,
watching a
because
TV
it's
show.
up to you how much you want to actually play into the relationship mechanic. Depending on how much time you spend with each other, that's going to change the relationship that the characters have. In fact, if you don't even really want a relationship between those two characters, you don't have to play into that, and they won't really pursue.
What if I want to go to the bad club? What happens then? Jeez, TGG, how many freaking ads did you put in this video?
Ready to elevate your home's perspective? Redesign your everyday spaces for less during the Living Spaces Labor Day.
You a romantic relationship to that level. So this is entirely up to you. As you can see here, Jason and Lucia, you have the option to hold hands. Doing stuff like that will improve your relationship. Here we get our first look in this trailer of Brian Hedder and his wife Laurie, before we get a quick flashback to an interrogation scene of Jason and Lucia. It seems as though they were undercover for some sort of mission. They've both got disguises. Lucia, of course, is wearing a wig, so we'll see how they end up getting themselves out of that mess. Then cuts back to a lunch scene, or a dinner scene, of Jason and Lucia with Brian and Laurie, where Brian says that his contact just needs the help of one of Jason or Lucia for this job. Lucia decides that she'll be the one that goes and does it, but judging by Jason and Lucia's interaction here, there's a little bit of awkwardness, right? I still think this is early on in their relationship. So again, just pointing to the fact that this is very early on in the game. So Lucia goes off to start this job, while Brian and Jason have a smoke and look over Vice City. Now this obviously looks incredible, just spectacular, but it's specifically what Brian is saying during this little mashup of robberies here with Jason and Lucia. That's interesting. He's essentially telling Jason that at some point in Jason and Lucia's story, there will be a time where they have to get out and call it quits without getting too greedy. And if they don't get out, well, they might die. Now, I'm wondering, probably assuming, that this is some foreshadowing, and I already know this game is going to hurt me.
You gotta know when to get off, Jason. You hear me?
Now, during these mashup scenes here of Brian's dialogue, we actually do learn quite a bit. We get some cool Easter eggs as well. First, this is a robbery that's taking place at Hank's Waffles Diner. If you know, you know. This was the robbery that we saw in the 2022 leaks.
Bro,
4 years ago
so
now.
long ago, I was a freshman in high school when them came out.
Maybe a bit of fan service.
Bro, I was so excited to see it.
That's how long this game has taken to develop. In the next scene, we see Jason and Lucia taking a vehicle to what looks like a car fence. A car fence is one of the locations, the places that you can sell vehicles in the game. There's also other features that fences can do for you. In particular, car fences might give you a list of cars to go out and collect for them. They can remove trackers from vehicles at a certain point, and a bunch of other stuff that we get to learn. We then see a robbery scene in a convenience store here, where Jason knocks out this pedestrian and starts sticking up and robbing the store. And up the top right here, we get our first look at the wanted level system. Now, that's quite
6
a bit
stars.
I have to share here.
I literally didn't notice that in the
6-star
trailer.
wanted level is returned.
Well,
and then we have
saw that
5
after
indicators under the stars.
TikTok.
These are all heat indicators. So this means that a
6
civilian
stars.
or a witness has been made aware of all of these features, and that's going to be reported to police. So CCTV is something that Jason and Lucia will probably want to wipe here. The little 2-person logo means that they've been recognized as a couple, so the cops will know they're searching for 2 people. They know what outfits Jason and Lucia are wearing. They've got facial recognition, and they know which weapons
I
they're
legit
using.
gotta act
now,
like
of course, apart
a
from
real
just
criminal in
getting
this
away
game.
from the police, if you want to make it easier
I'm going to be
lose the
smart and
cops,
act like a
you're gonna
real
wanna sort of
criminal.
fix all of these 5 issues on the screen there, so you can wipe the CCTV.
What the
You can
hell?
tell Jason and Lucia to split up. You can change their outfits. You can change your appearance, and you can change weapons. So clearly, the
Yeah, I
police
got
are a
a real
lot
criminal
smarter
video
in the
game.
game,
Oh, no.
and the developers want you to think more this time around. Sort of act like a criminal would. And this is just a feature I can't wait to get my hands on. This new police system seems so fun. Next, we transition to a clip of
Look at that
Lucia
big-ass yacht.
driving on her way to pick up Jason, and both of them are going to meet Raul Batista, who we met in trailer 2. But not before we learn a couple more things. Something I hadn't mentioned earlier, the waypoints for missions in GTA 6 are going to be pink or magenta. If you set a custom waypoint,
Like this right
that's
here,
gonna
bro.
be
The
a
driver
light
just
blue
look.
or a
Yo,
teal.
I know y'all not adding this. I
gonna be
seen
pink or
clips on this.
magenta.
I know y'all not adding this from
If you
GTA
set a
5.
custom waypoint, though, that's
With
going to be a
the NPC just starts driving into
light
you.
blue or a
I
teal
swear to
or
gosh, y'all
cyan.
better not add that, bro. We're not doing that BS again. We're not.
And maybe
Bro,
is the
that
correct
shit
color.
was
So
so
typical Vice City
annoying.
colorway for the waypoints. Now on top of the city just looking stunning, obviously here, we see something that I am gonna get tilted about. I don't know about you guys. The AI looks to be a lot better in GTA 6, but there are still gonna be bad drivers. Look at this, man. Look at
Yes,
this.
I just
Stay
said
in your
this.
lane, bro. Pick
Look
a
at
lane.
this.
Pick a
Bro,
lane.
hell
Jason
no.
and Lucia meet Raul for the first time, and it's a getaway. Raul just robbed the Fleeca bank across the street, and we get our first proper look at what a police chase is going to look like in GTA 6. And here, Jason and Lucia immediately have a 4-star wanted level. As you'll see in this getaway clip, vehicle destruction has been overhauled, it's been improved. You can now shoot different parts off different cars. Shooting tires now is incredibly effective.
And
So
they
in previous
flip all
GTAs,
the way
mainly
over.
GTA 5, aiming for the driver would
Oh my.
typically be the best way to take out a car. But
Shoot,
now,
maybe
it
not
looks
anymore.
like we have a lot more options. And I actually specifically spoke to Rob about this police chase sequence here. There are several parts of the cars that you can now shoot at. So you can shoot at the engine block to take out a vehicle. You can shoot at the gas tank. You can shoot at the tires. And of course, you can shoot at the driver. Now, you also would have obviously noticed that Jason is shooting while Lucia is driving. Jason's got half his body out the window. That is not something that we could do in GTA 5. And while this here is part of a mission, I guess somewhat scripted, this is also something you can do in free roam. So when you get Jason and Lucia together in free roam, you can switch between the driver and the shooter or the passenger whenever you like. We actually get a better shot at this later in the video, so I'll show you when we get to it. We then get to a cutscene where Lucia pulls down into a side alley here, and we really find out where Jason and Lucia are at in the story. At this point, they don't really know what they're doing as criminals. Raul's a veteran, and Jason and Lucia are going specifically to Raul so that he can help them out. After another short gameplay sequence where Jason and Lucia are escaping the cops, they finally break line of sight and go to a parking lot to torch the car. While they're here, we get our first proper look at the weapon wheel, and we get a good idea of what loadouts are gonna look like. So in GTA 6, you can take 2 pistols with you, or 2 one-handed weapons at any time. You can also take 2 heavy weapons or 2
damn.
two-handed weapons with you if you like, but any more than that will need to be stored
Binoculars?
in your trunk, and you're gonna have to go and get them from
That's
your
it.
personal
Is that
vehicle
Bitcoin
if you
up
want to
there?
pull them out on the go. You'll also have a melee weapon spot, a gadget slot, as you can see, and then a throwable slot of the top left there as well, which is currently a Molotov. Down the bottom left, you can see your healing items here. So I believe
Oh,
the
you
one
got
on the
healing
very
items.
left will fill up your health. And then as for the other one with the yellow or golden heart here, I'm actually not too sure. If I was gonna guess, maybe this gives you a health boost, sort of like food does, but this is something you can use on the go, maybe. That's what it kind of looks like to me. Up the top of the weapon wheel here, you can see we've actually got 2 options here. We've got weapons and then items. And we'll get a better look at this items tab in an upcoming shot. And then up the top right here, you can see 2 different currencies. So that top purple logo there, that's your bank account. And then
bank
the
account,
green
okay,
logo
I'm
there is
actually-
obviously the cash that you
Alright,
have
so
on
cash
you.
and bank
Now,
account, so
you
it's
will
pretty
need
much
to
the
actually
same.
go to an
It's just-
ATM to deposit this cash. And if you die or if you get busted, you will lose the cash that's on you. So you're going to want to go to ATMs, banks, whatever you need
Damn,
to
I
do to
gotta-
deposit this cash.
They still
whenever
got it
you
on
can.
the phone
So
or not?
Lucia torches the car with a Molotov, and then everyone gets into a van. Now, if you look up to the top
shit,
right
look
there,
at that
you'll notice
picture.
that the wanted stars are now red. So I spoke to Rob Nelson about this again and learned that there's actual several wanted.
Repeated vaping as a teen can damage more than your lungs. It can harm your brain, too.
Set up fast and reliable Spectrum internet on your schedule with easy self-install in under 10 minutes. Just unbox and connect to fiber-powered
wanted states that you can sort of have. Red is actually the best wanted state, I guess. So if you've got your wanted level down to red stars, this means you just have heat. What that means is you've pretty much lost the cops at this point. And as long as you sort of take care of what the indicators are telling you up there, like if you change your outfit, if you split up from Lucia, those sorts of things, cops really shouldn't be able to spot you unless you walk like right up to them. In this state, you'll also notice that the minimap on the bottom left has a big red area. That means the cops have essentially blocked off this neighborhood or are patrolling this neighborhood. So as long as you get out of this red area or this red neighborhood that cops have sort of set a perimeter around or are patrolling, you'll be fine. And you can see that here. Jason, Lucia, and Raul sort of get away from the cops without much of a problem. Now, there are other wanted states. such as hollow stars, which we'll see a bit later in the video. You can also have blinking stars, which essentially means you're getting close to losing the cops. You're not in their direct
Same as
line of
last
sight.
time.
And then you'll have solid white stars, just like we saw in the police chase before.
Yeah.
And this means that the cops have a direct line of sight on you. After successfully losing the cops, Jason and Lucia drop Raul off and make their way around Bayside, where we get another cool mashup of lots of different typical trailer scenes. So here we see two birds fighting over some food scraps. Here we've got Jason driving an airboat in the Everglades. This water just looks
Everglades?
unreal.
Oh, someone just jumped
On the
in.
right side here, you can see some people jumping off the pier here, or off the steps. Probably a bit too close to the airboat for my liking. You can also see manatees in the water on the right here. If you didn't know, the Vice City Manatees are also the football team for Vice City as well. So cool to actually see manatees in action. Here we've got Jason
Basketball.
playing basketball
Looking better
at
than
his
2K27.
initial safe house in the Keys, which, yes, was sort of leaked this past week, but cool to see official gameplay of it now. Jason hits a nice fadeaway here. This isn't going to be to the level of like NBA 2K, for example.
It's
But it should
already
be a
better.
fun little mini game. I'm
It's already
personally
better.
hoping that whenever online comes out, you can actually play PvP, but we'll have to see. Then we get our first look at underwater
Scuba?
diving. This is something I can't wait to do.
Damn,
And
look
it's
at
actually a
fish
very highly
stingrays.
requested feature. I know a lot of you guys are really looking forward to the underwater exploration. And it
I
looks
don't fuck with
pretty
water,
awesome. We've got
but
an oxygen tank meter up
I'll
the
try
top
it
left there.
in the
Now,
game.
which is new. In GTA 5, your scuba suit oxygen would just last forever, so you can also
Like
see
deep
some stingrays
bodies
up
of
there, which
ocean,
is pretty
I
neat.
can't,
Here we
and
get
I
our
can't even
first
swim.
official look at the gym system in action here with Lucia. Now, the gym system is very in-depth, to the point where there is even an app on your phone that can track your fitness. Now, the main point of doing strength exercises like this is to give you health boosts. There are other activities like the treadmill and whatnot that can give you stamina boosts, and then other activities that can increase your focus. I believe that's stuff like basketball, maybe the shooting range, which we'll see soon. As for the weight system in the gym, though, specifically, this is to increase your health. If you do 3 of these in an in-game day, you're going to get a boost. Here we got Jason and Lucia hanging out in the Keys.
Look at them dolphins.
We see some dolphins off in
Holy
the distance, and Jason does a
flip.
backflip diving into the water there. We see some jet skiing, some kayaking
Jet
in Vice
ski.
City. Man, this just looks so
Kayak-
good.
oh my
It
gosh.
looks so good. And again, these are just
Shit looks
activities that you can do
amazing,
with Jason
immaculate.
and Lucia to increase their relationship status, right? Like, these can act as dates, basically. We've got whatever the hell this guy's doing with
Bruh.
his VR headset. I do not want to know. Here
We
we get
don't
our
wanna
first
know.
look at the strip club, or one of them. This is the Jack of Hearts, of course, owned
One
by
of 'em?
Ruby
How
Isaac,
many
we
are
mentioned
there?
earlier. And we see Draquan Priest, who we learned about last year. as
And I
well. We
didn't
get our
bring that
first
up.
look at-
I didn't bring that up. Buddy getting too comfortable next to Jason's girl. Like, letting another grown man hug you and pick you up like that. That's an argument right there. It's a long argument right there.
Racing
Can't be doing
in
that, bro.
GTA 6. Man, I'm
Hell
so
no.
keen for this. Looks like there's going to be 16 people in a race. And of course, we'll have point-to-point races as well as lap races. This one's a lap race. And you can see what the new checkpoints look like for races. They're pink, as opposed to in
Look like they
GTA
still got
5
the
when it
sort
was
of
those sort of
slip shit.
yellow
Fuck,
checkpoints
slip.
with the blue arrow in the middle.
Saw the
they look very
slipstream a
different
little
this time
bit.
around. Now, as Jason and Lucia are about to go into this robbery, we get our first look at the items tab. So we can see a few
Mask
of the
on,
options here.
mask
Up the top
off,
there, we have masks.
glasses
Obviously,
on and
you've got
off,
your headwear,
cap
you got your glasses,
on and off.
and then because they're in a vehicle right now, it looks like they can change their outfit. That's what that coat hanger symbol is, I believe. So you can come back to your vehicle to change your outfit to sort of help lose the cops. Now, this is a cool sequence here that we're going to go through because it shows 3 different levels of robberies. Now, I've got a quote directly from
As soon
Rob
as you
Nelson
pull the
about
gun out,
this,
they start
where he said,
walking
the
away.
one thing that I definitely would like people to understand, those are
Boom,
3
like a
robberies cut
grown-ass
together,
man
but
up.
that's an example of showing that you would like people to understand. Those are 3 robberies cut together.
Am I tripping or no?
Where he said, the one thing that I definitely would like people
Is this Aiden
to
Ross?
understand, those are 3
Is this Aiden? I know I'm not tripping. Is this Aiden Ross right here?
robberies
Is this
cut
Aiden? I
together,
know we
but
saw
that's
Neon.
an example of showing that you
The-
can do
the-
these robberies all
that
over
dude that
the
looked like
open world.
Neon
You can
in
do
the
these
trailer.
robberies by yourself, or you can do them together. Making money this way off mission is an important
was that
part of the
Aiden, bro?
game. And while I was there, Rob also did tell me that there will be certain points in the story where you sort of need to breathe for a bit. You won't be able to do any more missions. And you'll need to maybe
like a
reach a
bench,
certain
you
amount of
gotta
money
damn.
before you can progress the story again. So unlike previous GTAs, GTA 5 in particular, the stuff you do in the open world is interconnected to the story this time. There's gonna be points where you can't just go mission to mission to mission to mission. You're gonna need to explore the open world, do these different levels of robberies. And speaking of the different levels of robberies, this first robbery here is just a local store that's probably not gonna have much money. Then you've got a tier up, which is a jewelry store.
Bro, you
here,
can't
right?
tell me
And then
that's
you've
not
got
Aiden
another
right
tier
there.
up, as you can see Lucia
Bro,
walking
Lucia
out of the
knocking out
bank.
a grown-ass
So
man.
there's
It's
different
crazy.
levels, and these will show up on your map, at least some of the higher end ones. And it'll even tell you how much money you could potentially make. So you can choose which robberies you want to do around the map. Apparently, according to Rob, you can also rob every single store that
We need to acknowledge that
Rob every single
change is
store?
hard, but if people fundamentally understand it's for
Every
the right
single
reason,
store?
then you
How many
get
stores
the
are there gonna
power of
be?
the organization with you.
Welcome
Can
to
rob a clothes
Reinvented
store?
with
Can
Accenture.
rob-
Visible puts the
bunch.
ultimate wireless hack in the palm of your hand. Dive into unlimited 5G data, just
you can go into in the game. So yeah, robberies are a massive part of this game, unlike GTA 5. Now in this getaway here, up the top right, like I mentioned before, this is where you can see the Hollow Stars state. So with Hollow Stars, police have been dispatched, but they don't really know who they're looking for. So you can see as they're driving off, Lucia even flips off the cops because they don't know who they're looking for. Her criminal profile also looks like it's gone down here potentially, likely because she probably killed someone unnecessarily in the bank. We're not too sure exactly why. Here we see what looks like a random event or a random side
Neon
around the map where you've got a streamer that looks a lot like a popular streamer you may know. So Rockstar really is parodying the entire world
The
at this
live
point.
streamer?
Right?
Oh
and
my
what impresses
gosh.
me here is you look in the background.
That
you can
was
see
the- hold on, what
NPCs
the hell was them
reacting to this,
profile
right? Like, this
pics?
isn't scripted. NPCs are just reacting to what's going on around them. It's quite insane. Now, as Lucia is driving this streamer around Shore Drive here, there's a few things that I want you to look at. One, we'll freeze frame it here. You can see that
What
while
type of
cops aren't
profile
on the
picture?
minimap, you can see which direction the cops are coming from. It's got the red and blue cop light at the bottom of the screen, so that's a new HUD
Ooh.
indicator. Also, if you pause it here, you can see a bunch of logos on the
Oh, yeah.
minimap. So we've got a gym up the top left there, you've
customs,
got a
a
mod
bar,
shop behind you.
the
It looks like a
gym.
bar on the right here. You've got a safe house, and you've got a
MCL,
mission marker.
maybe
So
a
cool to
mission?
see all of these logos in action here.
the
And we even get our
home?
first
Ooh.
Los Santos Easter egg in this streamer's live stream chat here when someone says, "Come to Los Santos." We get another look at Jason and Lucia going on a bit of a date, or
To
just
Los Santos?
hanging
I wanna
out
go
really
back to
at the
Los
beach.
Santos.
And yes, the pedestrian density we saw in trailer 1 on the
69 when you
beach
can
looks to be accurate. There are a
919.
lot of NPCs here doing a lot of stuff.
Damn,
Here
it's
we
a
see
lot
a
of people on the
shooting
beach.
range, which I wasn't expecting to see. Now, I'm not
Like,
sure
this
what
is some
the
Call of
purpose
Duty
this is gonna
Black
be. If I
Ops
was gonna
Modern
guess,
Warfare
I would
type
say
shooting range.
doing this would probably improve your focus stat, which at this point, we still actually haven't seen focus in action. We'll get a look at that in the final mission coming up soon. You can also see Lucia run out of ammo with the assault rifle and do a little quick swap to a pistol here. So that is something you can do. You can sort of master the mechanics of quick swapping. Dirt
Fucks with
biking,
that.
so just
Dirt
a bunch
bike
of
racing.
different types of races. And then we've got this little driving clip, which is actually one of the coolest shots in the entire trailer, in my opinion. Because we get our first
just
look at
switch
a
and
few
shoot the
features.
tires.
Down
Flip
the bottom
on
right, we
over.
get our first look at the character switching little menu here. So if you press R1, obviously it will switch to the other character. But you can also see that Jason and Lucia have different criminal profile states here. So it's not shared between the two characters. That means in theory, you could do a playthrough where Lucia is, a professional criminal and Jason is a psycho. Or you could try and make them both professional, both psycho, do whatever you want to do. This is going to add a lot of replayability to the single player. And we can also see the love heart symbol there, which means their relationship is going well at this point. Of course, both of these states can change depending on what you choose to do and how you choose to play. As we switch to Lucia here, Jason is still obviously driving, right? And this apparently can lead to some really cinematic moments. Directly from Rob Nelson, again, he said, "That one shot you saw in the video when they're in a convertible and the player switched from one driving to one shooting, actually, they're often better at driving than you are, and you're often better to aim behind and go into focus and shoot the tires, and you can end up with things that feel like scripted missions. We've had things where we're escaping and I'm shooting backwards, and then all of a sudden a train goes by and blocks them, and you lose the cops, and it just feels like you're playing a mission. So it looks like this is going to lead to some, honestly, cinematic moments that are going to feel scripted. This clip, honestly, just look, man. Like, come on.
Look at that view.
This
Look at
game
that.
looks unreal. I was
This shit
told
looks
that
beautiful.
Vice City itself is twice the size of Los Santos from GTA.
Damn, we gonna
and that
have
Vice
one
City and its surrounding
big-ass
suburbs
map.
are about 11 times the size of Los Santos and its surrounding suburbs. And in this shot, man, you can see it. You can see it. This looks
Yeah,
unreal,
bro.
man. We then
This
switched
shit
from
finna be
Lucia to Jason, this
huge.
time not while
We
they're
not getting
together.
that
So we get our
GTA
first
7
proper
until
look
I'm
at
50
the
years
zooming
old.
out character switching, and it's pretty quick, it's pretty seamless. We switch to Jason, he's hanging out with Dre, and then we start our final mission of the trailer.
Lucia, Jason, come take a seat. I'm waiting on the ETA for the flight.
In this mission,
Okay.
Jason and Lucia are going to be bodyguards for a character named Andres de Leon. But first, you may, if you've played GTA Online, you might recognize this character. This is Valentina, who we actually first saw in 2025 last year in the GTA Online Money Fronts DLC. Now, in that DLC, she was in the opening cutscene getting out of the same private jet that Mr. Faber was on. Now, Mr. Faber is sort of shaping up to be what looks like a villain in GTA Online.
Well, I probably didn't pay attention there.
We know that
I'd probably
Valentina and
skip.
Mr. Faber are
No, you
connected.
could've skipped, but
They
I
know
dead ass
each
was
other.
paying attention,
So
bro.
how does this connect to GTA Online? Is it time to start the theories? I don't know what to make of this. I have a lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of ideas on what could be happening here, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Now, in this cutscene here, we are at one of the interiors at the airport. So airports are gonna have interiors this time around, which is just
I wonder what
sick.
type of
Andres
GTA
shows up, we meet
5
him,
references
and then we
we're
drive
gonna
into
get
the
in this
Mega
game,
Mundo
bro.
headquarters.
Cause
where
they're
having a party.
100%
We
gonna
get a
throw
nice
some in
clip
there.
of us
If they threw
driving
GTA
at
4
night
ones
in the main
and 5,
airport
they're
of Vice
gonna
City,
do
and
5
man,
and
this
6.
just looks nuts. I can already see an Any
Damn, look
Austin
at the-
video
look
on
at
the
the
way,
reflection
and
of
I
the
can't
rain.
wait. I
Look at
can't
the
wait to
car.
see
Look at
if
the
these
rain on the
airports
car.
are truly accurate to real life. We see NPCs taking selfies, doing
Shit,
dances.
beautiful.
This one is alive, man. It's alive. And then look at this. Night street racing.
Bro,
with
I can't
Nitrous.
wait to do
what
this.
What are we doing right now? Are we playing Need for Speed? Are we playing Midnight Club? We've got Nitrous in GTA 6 now. You will not find me complaining at all. We got Jason and Lucia in the club 919, based off 11 Miami in real life. This is a nightclub slash strip club, mostly a nightclub by the looks of it. And just look at the pedestrian density, man.
Look how many
at all
people
of
in
the
there.
NPCs in here. Look at this shot of Lucia.
Every
The
girl's
sweat,
literally
the dances,
thick,
man.
bro.
They're really doing it. From
Oh
here,
my
we get a few
goodness, look at the girl
cutscenes
in the
that don't really
back.
learn
God
too much new.
damn.
Just get to bake in and soak in all the visuals here and how great this
Yo,
game
GTA,
looks. That
I mean,
is
not
until
GTA,
a
Rockstar.
shootout breaks out,
Why
and we
y'all
really get
made
to have a
damn
look
near
at the
every
seamlessness and
ass
character switching here and how
humongous.
Jason and Lucia really
damn.
working together. We see Jason put a sticky bomb inside the elevator here, and this looks like gore. I think this is body parts. I'm not too sure. So for anyone who has questions about that, we might have answers here. And as we switch to Lucia, I don't know how many people are actually
crouching.
paying
It's
attention to the
moving
actual
in. Oh my
mechanics in this short scene here, but you'll notice that Lucia is crouching. So crouching is returning to GTA. Remember, GTA 5 didn't have crouching. It only had cover.
Damn.
Now you can take cover
Oh my
and you
gosh.
can crouch without being in cover. As we switch back to Jason here, we
Okay,
finally get
AirPods.
our first look at focus and how
Focus,
it actually
pretty
works.
much like
so
Michael's.
it slows down time just like Deadeye kind of does and Michael's ability in
Yeah.
GTA 5. But this time, it also highlights weak points. Now here, of course, it
Ooh.
highlights the weak points on the NPCs. You can see the red areas, that will be a lethal shot. And you can see the yellow areas, those are for non-lethal shots. Now, this does also work for vehicles. It'll highlight weak points on vehicles if you use it while you're in a shootout with the cops, for example. But we didn't get to see that in this preview here. We only got to see it on actual characters, but still neat nonetheless. And right before this scene cuts off, we see Lucia stab this guy in the head with a
Stab him
heel
with the
before
heel.
they
Oh
both
my-
go tumbling down the elevator shaft. We'll see how she gets out of that one. And then we switch to the final sort of outro, last 30
They leave
seconds
us
to
off
a
in a
minute of the
cliffhanger
trailer
there.
here. And you know what? I think this is my favorite part of the showcase. Obviously, I can't play the song
Look
that
at that
plays here.
view.
If you
Look
want to
at
know
this
what the
city,
song is,
bro.
in case you want to listen to it, it's called Inner Light by Elderbrook. But I love this outro sequence, man. It doesn't necessarily show us too much. I mean, we see Cal, Lucia, and Jason fishing here. We get a first look at the interior of the Delights strip club that's going to be in Port Gellhorn. We see Dre mixing
many
some
clubs
music.
are there
Yeah,
gonna
hopefully we
be,
get
bro?
to
I might have
actually
to
help her
visit
with that. That would be pretty neat. We get a shot of a sick looking interior here. I don't know exactly where
Me
this
like
is. We've got a
him,
little
bro.
dog here.
Ooh.
Dressed up.
Small
we
little
even got
dog.
a car
I'm gonna
meet
pet
here, and
every
I'm
dog
so
I see in
happy
this
for the
game,
car
bro.
community. This game is
Car
gonna
meet.
slap for you guys.
I already
We
go
see
to
some
car
rednecks.
meets in
It's
real
a
life.
cool
Ain't
little
nobody do it
outro
in GTA.
compilation. But what I like so much about this end sequence here is actually what Cal is saying, Cal Hampton. Now, let me get a little bit sappy or nostalgic here at the end of this. Cal is telling Jason and Lucia, probably, it might not feel like it, but these are your glory days. Nothing is gonna beat who you are now. You can't see all the fucked up shit on the horizon. Enjoy this, dude. If this right now was all that there is, all the time, it would be perfect. Trust me. And I think that quote not only is special for the story of Jason and Lucia, and who knows, the potential doom that could be ahead of them. There is a bit of foreshadowing going on in this trailer. But I kind of feel like this is a message from Rockstar to the fans as well. You know, I've been covering GTA for about 7 years on this channel, and everyone, for the entire time I've covered GTA Online and GTA 5,
I
have
wonder
looked
what's
back
gonna happen
at
there.
the early days of GTA 5 and the pre-release of GTA 5 saying those were the days, man. Those were the days. We look back on a game like GTA 5 with so much nostalgia, and we've been waiting for GTA 6 for so long, and it's coming. We are here. This is it. Like, this is the game we've been waiting for, man. And judging from this preview, it's living up to the hype, which is crazy. Like, the expectations people had for this game were just insane, and it looks like it's gonna meet them. Like, this is it, man. This is it. We are in the moment now. These are the glory days. These are the days we look forward to. These are the days we're gonna remember, you know, 10, 15 years from now. Who knows when we're gonna get another GTA again, man?
Yeah, but we're not getting another GTA till it's 2026. Probably not gonna get one till like 2050, bro. And actually, nah, that's too short. 2060, 2065, around there.
Too many people on the internet just complaining. This is it, man. We are here. This is the game everyone's been waiting for.
Here, bro.
Let's enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and most importantly, thank you guys for watching. It really does mean the world. And thank you for letting me cover this game for you guys. Stay safe.
Yes. You're the only one I watch pretty much who covers the game. I can't wait for this game. It already took my money. It already took $100 from my pocket. I can't wait, bro. Like, seriously, and they said the story mode is like 80 hours. Boy, I'm gonna have like 35 videos, maybe more, of this damn game, bro. Cause I'm gonna be playing it non-stop. I'm gonna be hibernating in this room. I'm not leaving this room. The only time I leave this room is get something to eat, something to drink. That's about it. I'm staying in this room. I'm not playing no other game. I told my homies, don't call me or nothing. I'm gonna be locked in on GTA 6 making content. Don't do nothing to me. I'm not leaving. Don't ask me to go nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm probably not gonna be out this house for a week straight, bro. The only time I probably leave is to go pick up my siblings or work, bro. That's about it. But I just moved back to San Antonio, so I don't got a job right now. So who knows? Oh man, I can't wait for this game. Like, you see how happy I'm getting, bro? You see, like, I've never been this happy over a video game, bro. The last time I was this happy was Spider-Man 2. And people hating on that game. That shit's a good game. Great game. Fucking talking about. Yeah, I haven't been this happy since the game. Since Spider-Man 2, bro. I just can't wait to play it, bro. And to play it on the channel. Hey, man. That's the end. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, 10 person nation, miss this video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Till next time. We out.